So this morning, when I was out on my walk, I I had an interesting memory come to mind. Um, I I remembered the very first time I got bucked off a horse, and I don't know if it's because of this abdominal pain that I'm feeling or not, but it was a really interesting experience. I was saddle training my quarter horse with a guy who was really a bona fide horse whisperer, Farrell Paulson, and I climbed up on her and trying to teach her, and she just turned and spun, and it was probably way less dramatic than what I remember it. But either way, I ended up in the dirt with the wind knocked out of me and just not feeling good. And Farrell, he just starts laughing, and I was angry, and he said to me, he's like, "Hey, you got to get back up, get on that horse." And I'm like, "No, I don't want to get on that horse." And he says to me, "Boy, if there's one thing that you need to learn in your life, it's self-discipline." And I said, "What does self-discipline have to do with me wanting to get back up on a horse?" And he says, "Because what's going to happen in your life is you're going to get knocked down, you're going to get back up, and you're not going to want to keep doing the important things that you want to do because they're not easy." And that really led me to think about self-discipline. And I want to talk today about self-discipline and about how important that I think it is. So I guess we need to start with really what is self-discipline? Self-discipline is doing something even if you hate it, if it's hard for you, if you've cooked up a million reasons why you shouldn't do it. It's one of those things that it's the things that you go and do because you need to do them, not because they're easy. I've had a lot of conversations where people have said, "Hey, if you're doing something that's easy or something that you enjoy to do, then you're not exercising self-discipline." So how do we develop self-discipline, and how do we put that into practice? Well, I really like what Gandhi said. He said, if you want to change the world, then you have to change yourself first. I think that principle is critical to self-discipline. The first thing that you have to do is you have to make a decision that you are going to do things that are hard, and that you're going to do them despite all of the things that you've cooked up in your head. "Oh, my bed is warm this morning. Oh, it's all right if I don't go. It's okay if I don't do that. If I don't do it, somebody else is going to do it. Oh, I've got plenty of time left." These are all excuses that I've used to stop myself from doing things. Now, one of the things that I've noticed during my recovery from my surgery is that I have really legitimate reasons to get off schedule, to not get up in the morning and go exercise, and not, eat right, and not do these things. And, I've got all these like legitimate reasons, to just sit back and take it easy. But I'm not going to let those reasons work. I'm not going to let them take over, because self-discipline is important. So, let's talk a little bit about what it means to change yourself. I think the very most important thing about changing yourself starts with your self-image. And what does that mean? So I had an interesting conversation with a friend of mine the other day. She's contemplating doing something that's going to be life-changing, and she said to me, she's like, "Well, what if it doesn't work? What if I go through all of this and it doesn't work? And what if I can't have success? And what if I fail? And what if, I decide that I shouldn't have done it? And what if, and what if, and what if?" What's crazy to me is we build up these ideas of self-doubt, and we convince ourselves that things are going to happen based on things that aren't even real and don't even exist. All we can do is deal in what is real and what we have capability of doing. And the thing that we have capability of doing is doing this. And this is what I did with my surgery. I said, I'm going to follow the program. My surgery, I'm going to go into the operating room. The surgeon's going to have a great time. My surgery is going to go well, and my recovery is going to be great. And that is the paradigm that I established for myself. And that's the paradigm that you have to establish for yourself. You have to say, I am going to be to work on time. I am going to be the best musician I can be. I am going to stop ducking people when I see them in the store, and I'm going to make an effort to talk to them. I'm going to make sure that I serve my wife or my husband. I'm going to make sure that I'm dedicated to my marriage. You make those decisions, and you exclude the what ifs. The second thing that's important is you need to work on your self-image. Stop looking at yourself in the mirror and finding the problems and finding the faults and seeing the things that are bad. Start looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, holy cow, look at you. You're smart and you're awesome and your face looks good and your eyes look good. I mean, I've put myself in the worst physical condition that I could have possibly put myself in. But you know what? Every single day, I look at myself in the mirror and I find something that is amazing about me. And I smile at myself. You have to forgive yourself for those things that you've done, and you have to embrace that positivity that is yours. Now, how do we stay self-motivated? Well, one of my favorite sayings is the difference between adventure and adversity is attitude. My friends and I that adventure quite a bit, we have a saying that it's not an adventure until something goes wrong. And I got to tell you, it's really true. And then what happens is you welcome that adversity. You use that as to make it an adventure, and you use the obstacles and the things that you've done in your life, you use those things as stepping stones, and you use those things as ways to overcome the situation that you've gotten yourself in. And then what you do is you find triumph in your wins. You say, hey, look, I got out of bed today. I'm awesome. Hey, I did that report on time. I'm awesome. Hey, I forgave myself. I'm awesome. And you start to focus on that. Now, I'm not saying that self-discipline is going to be something that's going to come easy to any of us. But I will tell you this. There is a deep, resounding satisfaction in obtaining your goals. There is a deep, resounding satisfaction in knowing that despite all the cards in the deck that are stacked against you, you triumph, even if it's just a little bit at a time. So what I want to say more than anything with this vlog is I want to say focus on being positive, on forgiving yourself, on making it so that you can be the best that you can be. And really just get up and get out of your own way. And I'll tell you, once you get out of your own way, once you start walking that path, your life becomes amazing. You can walk outside and fill your lungs with the fresh air of knowing that you are doing everything the way that it needs to be done, and that you are an awesome individual and have a ton of potential. I want to just say thank you for listening to this video, and please reach out, contact me, let's talk. If you're having a struggle in your life, please know that you are not alone, and there are people out there who love you, and you have worth, and you can do anything that you set your mind to. Make it your best day yet, and go and do.